together. And Fredrik, you have written a composition for the orchestra and Panditji. And would you please tell us something about your approach to this project, which is rather difficult?
Yes, it's difficult, especially since we Western school composers tend to be very proud of the structures that we build, and it's very hard for anyone else to enter these structures. And now I was put into the task of making music for a fantastic musician who works with a kind of music that develops and works in a sort of flow. And this is something, the flow element, is quite opposed to what we work with in the Western music, because there we work with the special moments that we elaborate, and we work with what we call counterpoint, and which is not really a way to reach flow, because it's more like a kind of sounding neurosis, so to speak. And to melt this together with this wonderful flowing aspect of music was quite tricky. But I started with listening to your music when you're playing on CDs and on the internet, and I realized I cannot write his part. I must invite him to meet my music as he is, as the musician he is. So I wrote something inspired in a way by his music. And you told me that when you got the music, you said, this is an Indian 10-beat cycle.
Yes.
And there is also apparently a raga in my music, which I wasn't aware of.
Yes, absolutely. That's looking at that progression of modal music, whatever was there in the music, what I received by email, I heard twice, thrice, maybe 10, 15 times, and going into the inside of the music and hearing more articulations of different sounds laid over the a real composition in it. And then I found that if I can add some like dots, if I can add this way, it becomes an elephant. Or if I can add these dots in this way, it becomes a whale. So either I will choose a whale or elephant. I have chosen Raga Darbari Kannada, which fits rather more closely to his composition. It's a great composition. And then I heard his expression of the music, but I couldn't talk to him because both of us were very busy. But when I asked him a couple of weeks ago, what is the feeling, expression of that? He said, winter tale. It's a expression of winter. The very hardship is there, of course, and passion and kind of pain.
And longing.
To come back and to have something. So that longing and passion gave me an idea of Darbari Kannada, which was composed. The raga is composed in 14th century in the court of Lord Akbar by one of the greatest composer of North India, Mian Tansen. So I chosen that raga, and without polluting the raga and without dishonoring his composition, I found a way to meet together and see how the meeting is. And then after receiving his music, I thought, if it is a winter tale, then should I do something to welcome spring? So, a Holi festival, the color festival of India, is a welcoming festival of the spring. So I brought together many, like 6, 7 ragas, little bit here, little bit there, but there is no existence of raga. But they are pieces of ragas, and made a composition which has a lot of dialogues. Because when there is a spring, we open our heart, we meet together, we sit together, we have a lot of fun. So then there, of course, the dialogue is there. So I composed that composition to have a dialogue between all of us. And you must listen to this awesome orchestra. They are playing, even sometimes I forget to play my pieces because I'm hearing so much and having fun on stage so much, hearing them playing my composition. It's really awesome.
We have another Western feature is that we composers suffer from what we call paralysis by analysis. So when I delivered my big score to Pandit Bhattacharya, he came back with his analysis in Bengali writing, which took about half a page. This was it. This is your piece. And it gave me something to think about.
But I think this is this whole project and this concert. It is an expression of exchange.
Of course.
It's exchange of attitudes. I think we have learned so much from your and your brother's attitude to music, and you live in music.
Actually, to tell you one thing, many of the listeners of Indian music perhaps sometimes don't get this message that in India, the philosophy of art and philosophy of life and philosophy of music is not objective, it's subjective. So when you say that you have learned from me, it is not me, it is from the subject of Indian raga music, which you have seen in me and in my brother. And the subject of Indian music is to live in the music, keeping the music in the epicenter of your life, which we call art of living. So whatever you do for your own music. That is what Indian raga music has taught over the thousands of years to the Indian and Indian subcontinent people. And that essence of our performance is not to give you any particular commodity or product, but it is basically to give you that memory back, that you live in this music, you be happy all the time.
But we tend to get lost in all the dots in the paper, and that we have to do the correct and right thing all the time. Don't you think so, Frederick?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And especially as a composer still alive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Almost, at least.
Very much.
You get the feeling that a lot of time is spent on nurturing the old masters, my dead colleagues. But
Yes.
and then to reach the new music, which is also related to the old masters, we don't have the time.
Yes.
No.
We don't
Yes.
have the time to
Exactly.
dig into the music.
Absolutely.
Which is strange, since music is the only art form which has time itself as the bearing point of structure.
Of course.
So I hope we can learn even more from.
I think we can learn a lot from Indian music because we are kind of lost in space, I think.
We learn also from Western orchestra and composership, because when I heard this entire orchestra, the first thing I told myself, I should not hide it. I told myself, Debashish, go back home and practice. See how correctly every time they can play the same thing over and over. It needs practice. It needs discipline. That's the one thing I always admire in Western chamber orchestra music, and following the composer and the attitude also. The respect to the composition is very much seen in Western music.
Yeah.
The composer, how he feels, how he thinks of the accents, volume, this, that, counterpoints, bass lines, whatever. Everybody respect that and play together. And that togetherness is one of the thing that if we can learn something to be together, not to just being a soloist with a full of ego. That is one thing I definitely learned from my young age when I started performing with Western musicians.
Thank you very much, Frederick, and thank you very much, Panditji.
Thank you, Lena.
And thank you for coming here, and I hope very much that you will enjoy the concert and its different aspects of music.